Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're back with another episode of my 1GP2 Twisted Bow series. We are attempting to earn ourselves a Twisted Bow in under 1 year by only flipping. The start date was May 16th. If I have not completed the challenge by May 16th of 2020, I will be forfeiting all of the money that I have earned. So that could be hundreds of millions of GP, it could be even billions of GP. And on top of that, I'll be live streaming the whole event, giving away all my money. And on top of that, eating the spiciest pepper that I can find for everyone's enjoyment, except for my own. So a little bit of a development that Twisted Bow is back over $1 bill again. It has shot up today from $1 bill up to about $1 bill 30. So the Twisted Bow could be on the rise once again, which is probably for the best. I don't want it to crash on me and just make this easier. This last week was a bit challenging for me as a lot of my favorite flips really just weren't working, so once again I had to kind of experiment with new types of items, new techniques, and just really change up everything I was doing. We started focusing a lot more on high volume items and a few really high ticket expensive items as well. Once again guys, thank you so much for all the support on this series. The last episode got 4.2k likes, so I don't know, could we get 4,000 likes on this episode as well? Who knew begging for likes would get you more likes? Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy and let's get started. So in episode number 4, we just managed to squeak above the 50 mil mark, which was way ahead of schedule. We did really well on the last couple of weeks. Now I finally went ahead and fixed the month chart, because everyone was getting confused because it made no sense. But by month number 2, I should be having around 75 mil, or that's what I'm hoping for. We are about a month in right now, and we are at 50 mil, which means we're way ahead of schedule. Now we are going to start off with a Mystic Dusk set flip. This is becoming one of our staple flips. It's very time consuming, but that can be very beneficial. If you can't really play for a full day or overnight or something like that, it feels kind of wasteful when you put in for an item that you know is going to buy within an hour or two and you're gone for like 8, 9, 10 hours. And that's what I really like about this item. You can put in for 40 of them. You won't hit the buying limit, but it takes a long time for it to come through. But every set combination you're getting like 20, 30, or even 40k on, so it can work very well. On top of that, we're going to be going for the Occult Ornament Kit as well. We're going to try buying it for around 3,900, and we'll go for the 4. And last up here, we're looking at the Team Cape X. It's about 2:30 p.m. of May 18th, so we're about 32 days in. Let's chuck in for 4 of the capes, and that's going to be it. Our money's spent, and I'm really hoping these flips work out. So once again, the Mystic Dusk set worked really nicely. We got around a 40k margin on the combination, and we just managed to squeak through 40 of them. It was a bit messy, but overall we sold back 40. We sold them back at an average of 707k. So in total, we got around 1.6 mil in profit off of the set combination. We also managed to successfully flip the Team Cape X's for around 100k in profit, and the Gilded set for around 80k in profit. So in total, we got around 1.8 mil from this. Next up here, I wanted to try something a little bit different, and that is the Obsidian set combination. I didn't really know this actually was an item set, but there are actually only 3 item pieces that go into an Obsidian armor set: the Obsidian plate body, the Obsidian plate legs, and the Obsidian helmet. I already checked this, and it has a 50k margin, which is really good considering how quick this item will come through. And so we can actually afford 15 of them each, more or less. So we're going to put in for 15 of the helmets, 15 of the plate bodies, and 15 of the plate legs. And the buying limit is 70, so we could end up doing this for quite a while. Considering the Mystic set flip took pretty much 24 hours, I would say maybe we could benefit from doing something quicker. Alright, this took a little bit longer than I'd hoped. I actually ended up flipping 25 of the Obsidian armor sets for a few different prices. We ended up doing the first set of 15 for around a 29k margin. So a bit less than I'd hoped, but again, it did come through really quickly. I was just at work. On the first 15 of the set combinations, we got 435k in profit, and on the next 10, we got 330k. We also ended up getting a pretty nice margin on the Ale of the Gods for a 220k profit there, netting us a profit of around 985k in total, and bring us up to 53 mil. One of my new favorite items is actually the Ranger Tights. They're pretty cheap, and the margin is generally around 50 to 60k, and they come through very consistently. We're going to go for 4 of them. Alright, maybe the Saradomin Dragonhide set has a good margin on it. Good enough, I suppose. We'll go ahead and put in for 16 of the Saradomin D'hide set combinations. The margin was around 40k, which is pretty good if we actually did all 16 of them. It doesn't end up working that way usually, but we can always dream. Alright, so we still have around 19 mil to spend. I'm just struggling to find some items here. It happens sometimes. You just really have to take a long time to look around, find items with good margins. So we put in for the Team Cape X, the Ranger Tights, and we'll probably find a few more items. Now we did end up selling quite a few different items here, but none of them were that profitable. The best one was the Tyrannical Ring at 153k in profit. We actually lost money on the Spiked Manacle. We lost around like 30 or 40k on that. And we got around 100k in profit on the Ranger Tights, but the Ceradome set combination really lackluster at only 10k in profit per combination. In total, we maybe profited 450k, which is, I mean, it's not awful, but it has been quite a while. It was overnight, and it's, well, noon the next day of the 20th, so we kind of need to pick it up here. It's been quite a few days, and we haven't really made a lot of profit. I've been working a lot, so that's my excuse, but anyway, we're going to try something different now. We're going to go for the Revenant Cave Teleport. We bought them for 25k, and we sold them for 24,700, so almost a 300 GP margin on it. It is a really expensive item, but doing 1,000 shouldn't take long, and that will net us 300k. One of the major reasons that I'm kind of switching over to these higher volume items is most of them are resource items, and if you haven't noticed, a lot of the main PVM items have been crashing over the last couple of months, which makes it kind of difficult to flip if they're slowly declining all of the time. So we ended up flipping around 1,300 of the Revenant Cave Teleports for about a 250 GP margin on each one, which is not bad. We ended up getting about 325k in profit. It didn't take very long to do this, but we did have to invest a lot of money into that. We also did Avanto Potions for a 77k profit. Really not amazing, only around 400k off of those flips, bringing us up to 54 mil. We are going to attempt to combine 8 Armadillo D'hide sets for around a 60k margin on each one. Next up, we're going to check a few of the Dragon Throne items. So we're going to try the Dragon Javelin. I've had a lot of success on these items because there are so many variants that are actually used. We have stuff like Dragon Javelins, we have Dragon Bolts unfinished, we have Dragonstone Dragon Bolts, we have Onyx Dragon Bolts. Like, there's a ton of different items. They all are used, and they do usually have pretty good margins. We are going to attempt to try the Gorok Teleport. There's a lot more activity in the wilderness this week, so maybe some of these wilderness teleports will be traded more often than normal. We're going to try for 2,000 of them. It has a really good margin, but unfortunately just not enough volume. We're going to try doing 4 of the Party Hat and Specs. Nice 75k margin on them. Alright, we still have 34 mil left, but well, I'm struggling to find any profitable flips, but rest assured we will put that money to use. Oh man, we just lost 400k on the Avanto Potions, unfortunately. We bought them for 17.84 and sold them for 17.34. I was just looking at it on my phone. I didn't really look at the price history, but I definitely overpaid for it and paid for it. I lost 400k on it. The positives here is we did get 340k in profit on the Dragon Darts and 430k in profit on the item set combination, which in total brings us up to around 400k in profit. Again, not good enough. We really need to try and find something that's going to work for us here. We've only made 4 mil in about 4 days, which is way less than the last episode. Generally, everything in the market is kind of in a downward trend right now. The resource items definitely aren't crashing as much, but they are still quite all over the place. We're going to try another Mystic Set Dusk flip, as that worked really well for us at the beginning of this episode. We are going to go ahead and put 40 of each one of those in. We got like a 1.5 mil profit on this earlier, so hopefully we can repeat that. We're going to try the Dragon Arrows, which have about a 20 GP margin. We'll do the full bind limit of 10,000. And last up here, maybe let's try the Morton Teleport. It has a 200 GP margin. On a 6k item is pretty good. So we'll just put the rest of our money into teleports, and hopefully these things will buy overnight. I do not even know what happened to this set combination. It is so messy. I don't think we made any money on it. We ended up about breaking even, I would imagine, on it, but honestly, I don't even feel like calculating. I think it's probably about break even. However, we did end up getting a 376k profit on the Ranger Tights and a 120k profit on the Zulrah Teleports, which means we still made about 500k off of this flip. It is 3:20 p.m. on the 21st of June, so we really got to pick it up. One thing that I know a lot of people want me to do is more high volume flipping. Now, the reason I shy away from doing that in general is there isn't a really good way to record my progress. There's just way too many individual flips happening that it would just make the episodes way too long to go over every single flip. So what I've decided to do is maybe once or twice a week, just attempt to flip for 1 hour with however much money I have at that time. I'm just going to show a bit of sped up footage in the background so you get the idea of what I'm doing, but we're just going to take the before and after, and we'll see how much money I made in 1 hour. As I get more money, I should be able to make more money per hour. Like at first, maybe I'll make 500k in an hour of actively flipping high volume items. Once I get up to more money, I might be able to make a mil, 1.5 mil, 2 mil an hour. We're going to attempt to do this at least once per week, and once we start earning maybe 1 or 2 mil an hour, I would probably like to do this more frequently. We're going to be doing items like runes, dragonhide, Zolver scales, stuff that's really high volume, will flip instantly, and I can do it in around a 1 hour segment. I'm actually pretty happy with how that went. We got some really nice flips on adamantite ore in bars especially. In total, we actually got around 650k in profit, which isn't terrible. I have done better, but I only had 50 mil to work with, so I'm pretty happy with how that went. We're up to 55 mil, 700k, so we'll keep trying this every once in a while, and I think soon we'll be up to at least 1 mil an hour. There we go, guys. We got a really nice flip coming in here on the Pharaoh's Scepter 3, but it has been fluctuating all over the place over the last couple of days, but we got a 200k margin on each one of them, and we flipped 4 of them for 800k, which is really, really good. We actually got 280k in profit off of just flipping Obsidian armor sets. We weren't doing any combinations or anything, but we did 10 in total for about 28k on each one. We also got 188k on Team Cape Zeros. We got 1.4 mil in profit off of this, bringing us up to 57 mil. That is definitely an improvement over last time, but we're already on the 22nd of June. So the Pharaoh's Scepter had a really good margin. We're going to continue with that item. We're going to try buying them for around 3.5 mil. I think they went up in price a bit based on the GE tracker price, and we're going to go for 6 of them. Another thing that's really good about this item is it has a buying limit of 50. Now, an interesting item I've never tried before is the burnt page. It has quite a high volume, and it is fairly expensive, and it has a pretty good margin of around 100 GPs. If we ended up doing 10,000 of them, that would cost us 50 mil, but we'd get a mil in return, which sounds pretty good. Now, we can't quite afford that many of them, but I think we're going to go ahead and do a couple of thousand at least. Once again, we've been getting a really good margin on the Pharaoh's Scepter. We got around 100k on each one, and we did 6 of them for 600k in profit. A really nice item for us. What else did we do here? We did the Odium Ward for around 204k in profit, and we combined 5 Obsidian sets for 50k on each one. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough money to do more than 5, but in total, we got 800k in profit. Off of this set of flips, we did end up buying another 5 of the Pharaoh Scepters, which we are again hoping to get around 100k on. We didn't end up doing the burnt page. I want to do it soon, but it does require a lot of money to make a decent investment for it. We are going to do another Obsidian set combination with pretty much the rest of our money. We got another 9 sets to combine, and that's going to be pretty much it. So finally found a few items that have been working really nicely for me. The Pharaoh Scepter is one of them. We got another 288k profit from flipping 4 of them. So we're going to go ahead and buy another 4, and we also got 297k in profit doing an Obsidian set combination. So close to 600k in profit just from those 2 flips, and it's only been like an hour and a half since my last recording, which is really, really good. So we're just going to repeat the exact same thing again. It's only 1 p.m. and we've pretty much successfully done another set of flips for the Scepters and the Obsidian set. We got 500k in profit from flipping 4 of the Pharaoh Scepter 3. Still one of the better items I've done this week. We also managed to do 15 of the Obsidian set combinations, and on those we got a total profit of around 390k. So in total we got 900k in profit from these 2 items, and we're just continuously flipping the Pharaoh Scepter. Right now from 35.90 into 36.90, so around 100k in profit off that. So we are going to continue on with the Pharaoh Scepters and the Obsidian set, because why not? We're getting a lot of money from it. It's not been that long, and we might as well milk this as long as possible. I'm really not sure what happened here. We ended up getting a massive margin on the burnt page. We did this overnight, but I think it must have rose up or something, because we got 250 GP on the burnt page, and we did 6,700 of them, which means we profited 1.5 mil from flipping 6,700 burnt pages. Or 6,200 I should say. We did a few more later for about a 200k profit, but we got nearly 1.7 mil from that 1 burnt page flip, which is really good. That could be one of the best flips we've ever done. Now we got kind of lucky on that because the price naturally raised by 150 GP overnight. Originally we had a 100 GP margin, which is still pretty good, so I think we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're up to 62 mil now. That really helped out. The margin right now is still around 60 GP, not terrible, so I think we'll still go ahead and do it. Even a 60 GP margin is still a 600k from flipping 10,000 of them, which we could afford, but I think we'll probably save a bit of money for something else. Once again, we're going to do the Pharaoh scepter. We're buying them for about 3.5 mil, and we're going to go for 5 of them. We're also going to do the gilded two-hand sword for around 2.8 mil, and we'll invest in 4 of them. It is 7 a.m. in the morning, June 23rd, so we are catching up a little bit over the last couple of days. And with the rest of our money, we're going to put in for Obsidian armor pieces, and that is pretty much going to be it. Once again, the burnt pages worked quite nicely. We got 400k in profit roughly from around 6,000 pages. We also did the Pharaoh scepters once again for around a 180k profit, and the Obsidian set for about 150k in profit, netting us roughly 730k, bringing us up to 63.5 mil. So now there's a brand new item set I want to try, and somewhat of a high ticket item. What I want to try flipping is the Justiciar armor set. Very frequently has 500k to a mil margin by combining it. Kind of high risk because right now every PVM item is crashing really quickly. We're kind of guessing on the prices of the items, but we're trying to get the full set for around a 600k margin over what we're hoping to sell the completed set for. So yeah, I hope this works out because it's probably my first high ticket combination flip. I don't think I've ever tried this before. Okay, this worked way better than I thought it was going to. We've actually flipped it twice now for 630k in profit on each one. So we got 1.3 mil in profit pretty much off of 2 set combinations. We're going to do this again and really as many times as we can. The price of items are changing rapidly, but we are still selling it for around 54 mil 800k, and we're buying the pieces for around 54 mil 200k. The thing I like about this flip is it doesn't rely on you buying a ton of different item pieces, just 3 simple pieces for a 600k margin. I'm good with that. Unfortunately, the Justiciar set just kept crashing in price, so every time I would try to flip it, the pieces would pretty much just crash down to what I bought them for. So we didn't really make much money in the last combination. That's okay though. So we're going to try a few different items that aren't PVM related for once. We're going to do the Quorum Potion Unfinished. We do have a few extra offers in here, but it's nothing that notable. We're making a bit of money on each one. And we actually found a really nice margin on Dragon Darts. If you can get like a 70 or 80 GP margin on Dragon Darts like I did right now, it is worth a ton of money, and this flips really quickly. So 10,000 Dragon Darts, we're looking to make around 800k on. You can really tell how quickly the Dragon Darts are buying. We already got over half of them just while I was trying to find other items. And again, we're looking to get like 800k in profit off of that. We've been having some pretty good luck on the more expensive end of high volume items. So for example, the Rune Dart, the Dragon Dart, Black Chinchampas, Red Dragonite, stuff like that. Around the 1000 GP to 3000 GP range. We had a really nice quick flip on Rune Darts for 220k in profit. 370k on the Dragon Darts, and the Red Dragonite we're looking to get around a 50 GP margin on. Those are the types of items I want to focus on over the next day or two. High volume items where I could get between a 50 to 100 GP margin can work out really nicely. I think this is a good compromise between items that are quick, but items that also are profitable and don't require me to manage so often. Like flipping Black Chinchampas, Dragon Darts, that might take an hour, which means I could go ahead and do something, come back, and I don't have to actively pay attention to get the most out of it. So I always have a bit of a conundrum where I want to record every flip, but sometimes it would just waste so much time waiting until I'm at a computer or I can use my phone. So the rest of this day I did a bunch of different flips, mostly high volume items with at least 15 to 20 GP margins on them. But just for simplicity's sake, let's just go ahead and collect all of the offers. There weren't any items that we made a noteworthy amount on, but all of them were pretty consistent, bringing us up to 65 mil, 65.5 to be precise. We're getting pretty close to the 70 mil mark, which, I mean, I should have been able to make more this week, but it was a challenging week for me for multiple reasons. Now, the burnt page has a really good margin on it right now, almost 200 GP, so we're going to invest a lot of money in here. We're going to go for 6,000 burnt pages, and I really hope that works out. And last up here, we're going to do a Krill set combination. I haven't done one of these in a while, but they should still theoretically work. We are looking at an 80k margin here, and I really hope we get it. Technology sure is amazing. I am able to check my RuneScape flips on a random island in the middle of the ocean. Well, anyway, we got some nice flips over the last day. We're kind of slowly plugging away at doing a Mystic Dusk set flip. We probably made about 800k on it so far, which I'm pretty happy with. We also did some Dragon Darts for around 114k in profit. And we also did Dragon Dart Tip, which we got close to 450k on. So in total, we probably got around 1.5 mil so far off of this flip, which is really a lot better than the past couple of days. We're finally getting into the groove of it again. Alright, just checking in again quickly here. We're still on the island. Well, for those who were wondering, we went camping. We're not just there for no reason. We did end up finally selling off all of the Mystic Dusk sets for another 800k, so we got 1.6 mil on that in total. We also got 200k in profit on quite a few of these items. We did Dragon Bolts unfinished, burnt pages. We actually did Super Energy 3s without decanting them. That was kind of interesting. So in total, around 1 mil in profit. It is June 25th today, so we're almost done the week. We only got one more night. We're at 69 million coins. Let's see what we can do with one more night. So it's close to noon of the 26th of June, and I gotta get this episode out. So let's have a look at some of the flips we did. We did a pretty nice one on Ranger Tights, about 200k in profit, and we flipped 7 of them. The Zamorak Jihad set, I think in total we got around 400k on, which isn't bad. Kind of time consuming and a bit annoying to do, especially since you're kind of circumventing 2 buy-in limits there. And we also did quite a few different types of Dragonstone bolts. Unfortunately, their prices kind of crashed overnight. Anyway, let's go ahead and collect everything and see what we're at. 71 mil. Okay, so that's not too bad. Let's examine it here quickly. 71.3 mil. So we made around 22 mil this episode, which is actually less than last time. And my goal for next week is 100 mil, and I'm going to try my hardest to make it. We're on day number 42, so we're 1.5 months in. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave the video a like. I always appreciate it. And I will see you in the next episode.